Nominated for 22 Emmys.
Tonight, this Saturday,
Article 1 is adopted.
for the second time in our nation's history, the House of Representatives impeaches the president. The president reacts, saying he'll stay focused on his job.
It's what I've tried to do for 6 years. It's what I intend to do for 2 more until the last hour of the last day of my term.
But it is not the day's only drama.
I will not stand for Speaker of the House.
The incoming Speaker of the House announces he will resign. We'll have the story from Capitol Hill and around the nation.
ABC. This is World News Tonight, Saturday.
Good evening. I'm Charles Gibson. President Clinton has been impeached. The House of Representatives today approved 2 of the 4 articles of impeachment, accusing him of perjury and obstruction of justice. The issue now goes to the United States Senate for a possible trial. In the House today, it was a partisan vote, and it will have repercussions not only for this president, but for the presidency itself and for the House of Representatives. It is almost impossible to describe this day, but we'll try, starting with ABC's Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill.
At 3 o'clock this afternoon, the articles of impeachment were delivered to the Secretary of the United States Senate by House Judiciary Chairman Henry Hyde and the 13 Republicans who will prosecute the case against the president. It was an emotional day.
The yeas are 228, the nays are 206. Article 1 is adopted.
Article 1, charging President Clinton committed perjury before the grand jury, passed 228 to 206, with 5 members of each party voting with the other party. Article 2, perjury in the Paula Jones civil case, was defeated 229 to 205. Article 3, obstruction of justice, passed 221 to 212. And Article 4, abuse of power, was defeated 285 to 148. As if impeaching the president was not drama enough, earlier, House Speaker-designate Bob Livingston plunged the House into chaos with a stunning announcement. First, an appeal to the president.
You, sir, may resign your post.
And then he dropped a bombshell.
I can only challenge you in such fashion if I am willing to heed my own words. I will not stand for Speaker of the House on January 6th.
Livingston announced he will also resign from Congress. He made the decision 2 days after confessing to several extramarital affairs. Democrats rose up to plead for an end to the poisonous political climate.
We need to stop destroying imperfect people at the altar of an unobtainable morality. Say no to resignation. No to impeachment, and no to vicious self-righteousness.
But Republicans argued the climate did not create President Clinton's problems. He did.
A nation of laws cannot be ruled by a person who breaks the law.
At one point, Democrats walked out after being denied the chance to vote on censure instead of impeachment. They charged Republicans are ignoring the will of the people.
Let me tell you, people are angry, they are frustrated, they are bewildered.
And now the Congress is preparing for something people thought they would never see, that is, a trial in the Senate. The majority leader of the Senate, Trent Lott, issued a statement tonight suggesting that the beginning date of that trial may depend on how long it takes the president to prepare his defense. Meanwhile, of course, the White House is hoping that somehow in the interim they can make a deal for a censure resolution. But Democratic senators are saying, Charlie, that they do expect a trial and they expect it to last for months.
Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill, who will be back with us in just a few moments. President Clinton was with his pastor while the House was impeaching him. ABC's Sam Donaldson has the reaction from the White House. Sam?
Charlie, when the first impeachment vote was taken, the president was in the Oval Office. He didn't watch it. When it was over, his chief of staff informed him he'd been impeached. And that's right, he was with the Reverend Tony Campolo, one of the ministers with whom he's been working. Campolo said later they prayed together. The president watched some of the next 3 impeachment votes. But after what must have been the most devastating moment of his life, things picked up here. The White House swung into a campaign mode. a campaign to save the president from possible removal from office. House Democrats came down to the White House to rally round their leader. Mrs. Clinton walked arm in arm with her husband as they, along with Vice President Gore and House Democratic leader Gephardt, came to the lawn below the Oval Office, where, surrounded by his backers, the president made his case to the American people for avoiding a long Senate trial.
I have accepted responsibility for what I did wrong in my personal life, and I have invited members of Congress to work with us to find a reasonable, bipartisan, and proportionate response. That approach was rejected today by Republicans in the House, but I hope it will be embraced by the Senate. I hope there will be a constitutional and fair means of resolving this matter in a prompt manner.
Not once did Mr. Clinton mention that he had been impeached, nor did he mention any specifics of what he had done wrong. In fact, he suggested he was to some extent a victim of the times.
We must stop the politics of personal destruction. We must get rid of the poisonous venom of excessive partisanship, obsessive animosity, and uncontrolled anger. That is not what America deserves. That is not what America is about.
The president said he has tried to bring the nation together.
It's what I've tried to do for 6 years. It's what I intend to do for 2 more until the last hour of the last day of my term.
When it was over, the president withdrew to the Oval Office complex where he got a big hug from his assistant, Betty Currie. This all-round show of support was meant to underscore Mr. Clinton's determination to serve out his term. Dick Gephardt reported on their private meeting a few minutes earlier.
That he cannot and he must not resign.
The strategy now is to be very conciliatory toward the Senate, including Senate Republicans. Let House Democrats continue to bash House Republicans. The president now wants a censure deal in the Senate, impossible in order to avoid a trial. And so, Charlie, this long, sad, historic day ends. And at its end, the Clintons are hosting a White House Christmas party for friends, supporters, and Democratic Party donors.
One more time, Sam, to use the word surreal. Stand by for just a moment. We're joined by ABC's Cokie Roberts, also Jackie Judd in Washington. Cokie, give us the thought on this day. How about this trial to come in the Senate? Do we get to trial?
The trial is likely to come. Yes, Charlie, you know the institution of Congress well, and you know that some of its players insist on the prerogatives of the institutions. And in the Senate, that would include Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia, the historian of the Senate, who will insist that the Senate go forward at least for a while. Obviously, the pressure will now be on to try to bring that to a short conclusion. But the pressure was on the House as well, and an election intervened, and the House has impeached the president. You said earlier in the broadcast that this would have repercussions for the presidency and for the House of Representatives, and I think that's going to be the case.
Jackie, quickly, when you first learned of this story back in January, ever think we get to this day?
Oh my gosh, Charlie, no. The one constant of the story, in fact, over the past year has been its utter unpredictability. And even though over the past few days everyone had widely expected these articles of impeachment to pass, sitting here it was still a shock. It was just a shock to hear the Speaker Pro Tem in the House floor announce that the first article of impeachment had passed. And so, no, I don't think anyone could have predicted that we would find ourselves here on this night talking about what we are.
And Sam, final word, do you think they at the White House really feel that this presidency is in jeopardy?
Yes, they think it's very much in jeopardy. They are pretty smart down here, Charlie. They understand that each time you take a step, and one was taken today, you have to recalculate the next step. They know if it goes to a vote in the Senate, they can't count on not having 67 votes against the president. That's why they must have, they believe, this censure deal.
All right, Sam Donaldson, Jackie Judd, Cokie Roberts, thank you very much. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, shockwaves from the nation's capital to Louisiana as the Speaker-elect steps down, and the final round of attacks in Iraq.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday. Brought to you by Advil Liquid Gels.
Planes now fly New York to Paris in under 4 hours. Titanium bikes can go over 65. News travels round the world in an instant. So how come pain relief isn't faster? Introducing Advil Liquid Gels, the first and only pain reliever in a faster-acting liquid-filled capsule that's gentle on your stomach. On tough pain, Advil Liquid Gels are stronger and faster than extra-strength Tylenol. Headaches to muscle aches. New Advil Liquid Gels. Pain relief. Stronger and faster.
So, you're a little extreme? Walking is boring? The ground is the competition? And this is your idea of climbing the company ladder? Well, lucky for you, it's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. Because right now, you can get a Chevy S10, the compact pickup designed for your rugged lifestyle. And get either low 0.9% APR financing or big cash back. So, if you're looking for something extreme, fly, ski, jump, or drop on into your Chevy dealer and make your money count. It's a season for you.
Nobody does it like you.
Nobody has harnessed the power of the wind like Wind Tunnel by Hoover, a breakthrough in cleaning power. Hoover tested Wind Tunnel against other leading cleaners, including bagless brands. Others scatter much of the dirt, but Wind Tunnel channels the power of the wind, picking up more dirt than any other clean air upright, including all bagless brands.
Nobody
Wind Tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
It takes a lot to shock the seasoned veterans in the nation's capital, but members of Congress seem to be genuinely stunned today when Speaker-elect Bob Livingston announced his resignation. ABC's Mike Von Fremd reports.
God bless America.
It was as if the air had been sucked out of the House chamber, one member said, after Speaker-elect Bob Livingston announced his resignation. The Republican leadership immediately called him a hero for having the courage to step down.
There's no greater American in my mind, at least today, than Bob Livingston.
Democratic leader Dick Gephardt called Livingston an honorable man and led a standing ovation for him. And a chorus of Democrats said Livingston is leaving office for the wrong reason.
It is a surrender. It is a surrender to a developing sexual McCarthyism.
That sentiment was shared by many back in Livingston's conservative Louisiana district.
Why? I mean, what he did was wrong, but it didn't have anything to do with doing his job.
Clinton is being tried for his perjury, not infidelity. And I'm very, very sorry to hear about Representative Livingston.
After Livingston announced his resignation, Speaker Newt Gingrich came by his office to offer a very public pat on the back. Two Republican leaders whose careers have been cut short by a Democratic president's scandal.
The governor is urging the people of Louisiana to call Livingston's office here in Washington to try to convince him to reconsider. Those who know Livingston say that seems unlikely, and plans are already underway to pick his successor. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And it is this man, Dennis Hastert of Illinois, who I dare say you haven't heard of before or seen before, who is emerging as the front runner to become the next speaker. ABC's Linda Douglas back with us now from Capitol Hill. Dennis Hastert, Republican, Illinois. Who is this man?
Well, I'm chuckling at the picture because the word rumpled has come up all day long. Rumpled charm, low-key, conciliatory, someone who can get along with both moderates and Republicans, a veteran, a nuts and bolts legislator, the man who put the health care package together for the House Republicans, well-liked by all sides. Looks like he's got it.
All right, thank you very much, Linda Douglas. Coming up, Americans weigh in on President Clinton's future.
Has frequent heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Have you treated it but still suffer on 2 or more days a week? Do you keep getting heartburn even though you've changed your diet? Your heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. 1 capsule daily can provide complete 24-hour heartburn relief because it controls acid for 24 hours. 24 hours. Ask your doctor if Prilosec is right for you. Call to learn more. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the most prescribed acid control medicine in America, Prilosec.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million.
Hey, Todd, can you give me a hand?
The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now,
the self-service for the birds.
Bigger than ever.
Announcing an amazing discovery. One-A-Day has combined the power of herbs with vitamins to help you during the cold season, support your mood, even memory. New from One-A-Day. Just what you need to feel your best.
Inspired performance and handling. Luxury with a whole lot of fun. It's what sets Catera apart from every other car in its class. Now experience the difference during the Cadillac Performance Drive with up to $4,500 in factory-to-dealer cash. Catera with up to $4,500 in dealer cash, ready to move during the Cadillac Performance Drive. See your authorized Cadillac Catera dealer today.
That the party of the first part did not intend for the party of the second.
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
The national championship game. #1 Tennessee meets #2 Florida State in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Coming January 4th, only on ABC.
On this day, you heard much from the politicians. You heard a great deal from commentators. But how about the rest of the nation? Many Americans have not paid much attention to this impeachment story so far. So we asked 3 reporters in different regions to find out if that's changing. And we begin with ABC's Dean Reynolds in Chicago.
Americans scrambling to finish their Christmas shopping weren't really focusing on the impeachment drama this morning, but once the House voted, many began to debate whether Mr. Clinton should fight on or resign in the interest of the nation.
I think he should see the process through.
Why?
Because I think the process is a sham. I think the process will be revealed as a sham once it gets to a Senate trial.
I don't think that he should resign just so that the American people can say, phew, this whole thing is over.
But others believe Mr. Clinton should go right now.
It's time for him just to step down. He's made his amount of mistakes, and we're tired of forgiving him.
However people view the issue, it can't be good news for Bill Clinton to have the public now mentioning his name and the word resign in the same breath. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Chicago.
This is Judy Muller in Los Angeles. At the corner of Florence and Normandy, the flashpoint of the LA riots, the main focus today was Christmas.
They're just coming in now trying to get their Christmas shopping done and their Christmas trees. This is not a political arena right in here. This is a Christmas tree area.
And those who are talking about it are not happy.
It's sad. It's really sad because it's a lot of other things going on in the world that needs attention besides this.
At a nearby flea market, Ophelia Ariano says it reminds her of a coup in her native Guatemala.
We like him. He's doing a good job. Why the congressmen don't listen to the people?
And so a lot of people see no point in listening to Congress.
Because I'm working on the church grounds today, and this is where my reliance is on something higher.
Sadness, anger, futility, and a grim determination to get on with the holidays. Judy Muller, ABC News, Los Angeles.
This is Steve Osunsami in Atlanta. It's the morning workout at this Atlanta Fitness Center, and Bob Livingston has just announced he will leave Congress.
I think that now that the Speaker of the House has resigned, I don't think the President has much of a choice but to resign.
But as divided as the House of Representatives, so are Southerners. At this assisted living center, 101-year-old Louis Goodman says the House had no right to impeach.
There's no saints among them. Understand?
Many people we talked with, old and young, point out they elected the president with reservations.
Today's impeachment, they say, is the realization of their worst fears. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
When we come back, a defiant Iraq following still another round of bombing.
For 97 years, GMC has designed trucks for people who drove them not because they were trendy, but because their lives depended on them. Heroes who measured a truck by its power and its determination. That heritage lives in the new Yukon Denali. A luxury SUV with a 255 horsepower V8 that meets the demands of professionals and the standards of history. The Yukon Denali by GMC.
I'm 64. Is there anything I can do to stop bone loss?
Absolutely. Here's proof. In a landmark clinical study, Caltrate actually stopped bone loss in women at risk for osteoporosis, whatever your age.
It's never too late for Caltrate.
Every day I wake up pour myself a cup of that rich Folgers aroma. The best part of waking up, it's the do-up in all I do. The mountain grown aroma always coming through. Oh, the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Okay, you probably think they look alike. But with Gateway, you get basic help over the phone for as long as you own it. After a month, you pay for it. Here, you get a color printer. Nope, not here. This one you can trade in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Yours forever. Still think they look alike? We'll build you a PC like this one for $1,598 or $45 a month. Call Gateway about guaranteed Christmas delivery.
Pain keeping you awake? Now the effervescent power of new Alka-Seltzer PM gives you complete relief. Alka-Seltzer Speed plus a gentle sleep aid. The 100% solution to nighttime pain. New Alka-Seltzer PM. Sleep well.
Tonight, President Clinton declared the bombing campaign in Iraq has ended and that the mission has been accomplished. ABC's John McWethy is at the Pentagon.
The campaign ended after 70 hours of intense airstrikes.
We have inflicted significant damage on Saddam's weapons of mass destruction programs, on the command structures that direct and protect that capability, and on his military and security infrastructure.
We estimate that Saddam's missile program has been set back by at least a year.
But other critical targets were purposely ignored. No attempt was made to hit any of the so-called dual-use facilities, such as fertilizer or pharmaceutical plants that could be quickly converted to mass-produce chemical or biological weapons.
We did not target those facilities that are dual-use capable because of the concern that we have for the amount of damage to innocent civilians.
As the airstrikes ended, the administration was left with the tough question of what next? An even larger American military presence will have to be permanently stationed in the Persian Gulf, and airstrikes may soon be needed again, all to enforce a policy that is increasingly unpopular even among some of America's best friends. John McWethy, ABC News, the Pentagon.
The final missile attack, ironically, on Iraq came just as the president was being impeached. ABC's Ron Claiborne is in Baghdad.
Iraqis in the capital awoke just before dawn this morning to the frightening roar of exploding missiles and anti-aircraft fire. And tonight there was more in what the U.S. called the fourth wave of the attack. But despite 4 days of punishing strikes, Baghdad remains defiant. Tonight the Iraqi vice president vowed that UN weapons inspectors would never be allowed to return. The mission of UNSCOM, he said, the mission of the spies is past tense. They have no mission anymore. This latest round of strikes came as Muslims here began celebrating the holy month of Ramadan. The timing has outraged some Iraqis. Americans are criminals, this man said. They hit us on Ramadan. May God take his revenge on them. This man said the Americans and British have no mercy or humanity, Ramadan or not. Between airstrikes, there was an almost odd appearance of calm in Baghdad, though some people like this man were taking precautions, like stocking up on kerosene in case power stations are knocked out. Journalists have not been allowed to see any dramatic evidence of damage from the aerial assaults, though they have been given access to hospitals filled with civilians the Iraqis say were wounded in the attacks.
It's too soon for any official Iraqi reaction to this cessation of hostilities, but throughout the 4 days of assaults by the U.S. and British armed forces, they've been forceful and unyielding. You can expect tomorrow that they're going to declare this a victory for them. Charlie?
Thanks. ABC's Ron Claiborne live in Baghdad. Still ahead, how will history regard President Clinton now that he's joined Andrew Johnson, the only other president to be impeached?
Oh, this head cold. I'm so clogged up, I just can't focus.
You okay?
If this meeting doesn't go well, it's all that work wasted.
You gotta stay focused.
I'll find a way.
Clear the congestion with Tavus D, prescription strength. Just one gives you 12 hours of uninterrupted relief. To get that, you'd need 4 Tylenol cold pills. Tavus D clears your congestion, so you're clear-headed again. Why be congested? Be clear-headed, clear through your day with Tavus D.
Dave, come quick.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million. The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Get this check off of me.
No, this isn't a jeans commercial. It's about constipation. You're bloated, not yourself. If your size 10s feel like 2s.
FiberCon has natural fiber action to relieve bloating constipation.
I'm myself again.
FiberCon, be regular, be yourself.
At this time of year, you never know what the weather will turn into next. Good thing there's the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. Because right now, you can get a Chevy Blazer. The sport utility that offers a little security in an insecure world. And for a limited time, get low 0.9% APR financing or big cash back. You'll find great deals on other Chevy cars and trucks, too. Take control of the elements. At your Chevy dealers, Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's the season for you.
Celebrate the holidays with the guy who's naughty and nice.
Lois, how'd you penetrate my tremendous disguise?
Critics say Cupid is as good as it gets.
We can share the bed, only if we go head to toe.
No one burns brighter than Jeremy Piven.
What is Aprovet? All the interlocking parts are still aligned.
Cupid after Fantasy Island, ABC tonight.
Finally tonight, it has been said over and over that this is an historic day. The phrase may be overused, but the truth of it is self-evident. And so we asked 3 who study history for their opinions of this day.
Impeachment is a word that's awfully hard to ignore if it's attached to the name of a president, and everything that is written about Bill Clinton in the future is going to have that word impeachment attached to it.
Clearly, the history books are going to read William Jefferson Clinton, 42nd President of the United States, who was impeached by the House of Representatives for bringing dishonor to the office of the presidency. Has to be.
This is not a constitutional crisis. It is a constitutional procedure that we are lucky that the founders of this nation foresaw events like this, and you can make a strong case that it should be now properly adjudicated in the Senate, which is where it's going to go.
Since Nixon, we've lived in a culture in which there is a great sense that if you do not like someone, you try to destroy them. And that has happened on both sides of the aisle.
I think the nature of political discourse, more than anything else, changed when Newt Gingrich came in to Congress and decided that he could produce a Republican majority in the House of Representatives with a scorched earth policy.
I think what you're now going to see is the opposite of an era of good feeling, a period in which politicians are operating in Washington in a way that is very confrontational, probably very poisonous for a long time.
That's our report for tonight. Tomorrow on Good Morning America Sunday, more on the aftermath of today's historic impeachment vote. And later on This Week with Sam Donaldson and Cokie Roberts, Congressman Christopher Cox talks about his aspirations to become Speaker. I'm Charles Gibson. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now always on.
Elway and Marino have met only once since 1983. That's why we invented Monday Night Football. Denver meets Miami, Monday on ABC.
Crunch time now.
Right, Ted. Look, you've got